and welcome to Pause for Coffee, your mostly daily dose of inspiration and motivation. I just want to acknowledge that I didn't upload anything for like 2 weeks. And what happened is that I had recorded a bunch and then discovered that it actually wasn't recording, that it had like stopped working. And I was so frustrated that I didn't want to redo those ones. And then I got super busy. And so here we are. But I decided to take my own advice and acknowledge that done is better than perfect and just dive in. So I'm going to record this episode right now and then hopefully get back on the schedule and get ahead. So thanks for bearing with me if you were listening. Okay, here we go. So I don't have a specific source for this topic today, but I wanted to talk about mindset. I think every single one of us has had times when our mindset just wasn't right. It was just off. And it almost doesn't even matter why that's happening, or how we got there. I mean, even as they say, like, what happened to us is not our fault, but it is our responsibility to do the work to heal from it. So even in small things, it's definitely our own responsibility to try and shift our mindset. So I'm going to share 3 things that help me. First, because everything starts with us, the first thing I look at is how I'm speaking to myself, my own internal dialogue. The truth is that most likely nobody around us is going to belittle us, second guess us, call us names. If someone did that, we would be furious. We probably wouldn't be friends with them. And if you do have someone like that in your life, it might be time to rethink that relationship. But the voice in our head goes 24/7 and it sure has no problem doing any of that. It's not realistic to just say, oh, just change your thoughts. But what we can do is start to challenge those thoughts. Just pick one thing and see if you can reframe it in the opposite way. So, for example, if your brain is saying, I'm not good enough, respond out loud and say, I am good enough. It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel awkward. And even though I've been doing this for a long time, it still feels a little awkward, but it's so powerful to hear yourself say something like that out loud. Second, I try to get the thoughts out of my head. I don't know if you've heard this saying, your head is a bad neighborhood, don't go alone. Most of the time, if I've gotten myself into a spiral, I haven't shared any of my thoughts with someone else. So talk to your therapist, talk to a trusted and safe friend, or even journal it out. If you're journaling, write down everything your mind is telling you. You might cry, you might get mad, that's okay, but getting it out of your head will help give you a little bit of space from the thoughts. If you're gonna share with a friend, you can always begin the conversation by letting them know that you're not looking for advice per se, but you just need to share so that you're not sitting alone in your mind with these thoughts. Third thing I do is take contrary action. This can be really difficult, and I want to be honest that if I am particularly down or my depression is particularly bad, this is not always possible for me. But when it is, taking contrary action can get us at least moving and doing something, and that gives us something to feel good about. Using that same example of not feeling good enough, we can try to do one thing that we know is good. Maybe it's cleaning a room in your house. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend who might need help. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the smaller the better. But being in action always helps. I want to be clear again that these don't always feel possible, and that's okay. If you're feeling like talking or journaling is impossible for you right now, be kind to yourself and acknowledge that and do what you can do with where you're at. Asking for and accepting help is not a weakness, and you are not a burden. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic and what your experience has been. Please connect with me on Instagram at Rachel Gets It Done. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm sorry because this video is a mess, but please like and subscribe, drop a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform, please rate and leave a review if you feel comfortable. See you soon.